Captain Elise Harper stood on the bridge of the starship Endeavour, her eyes fixed on the black shape drifting ahead in the endless darkness of space. The object was unlike anything she had ever seen. Its surface was deep black, absorbing light. Instead of reflecting it, it looked like a shadow moving against the stars. "Commander Jin," Elise called to the young engineer beside her. "Run a full scan. Tell me what we're dealing with." Jin tapped on his console quickly, his face lit by the blue glow of the screens. "It's strange," he said. "No known materials. The hull is made of something we don't recognize. The ship has no identification codes or signals. It's not from any human or alien fleet we know." Elise frowned. No name, no flag, no history, and yet it's huge, bigger than a cruiser. The rest of the crew gathered around the observation window. Some looked excited, others anxious. Space was full of dangers, but finding a lost ship like this was rare. "Could it be a ghost ship?" asked Lieutenant Mara, the pilot. "Maybe," Elise said. "But I want to know what's inside. Prepare the boarding party. We're going in." The Endeavour slowly approached the dark ship. Its silent presence filled the air with tension. No distress signals, no signs of life. Elise's heart beat faster. This was what she had trained for, the chance to discover something new, something that could change everything. The boarding team suited up in their space gear. Jin carried special tools designed to unlock unknown technology. Elise led the group, herself. They stepped into the airlock of the black ship. The door hissed open, revealing a dark corridor that seemed to stretch forever. "Stay close," Elise ordered. "Keep your lights on. We don't know what's waiting for us." The ship's interior was cold and silent. Strange symbols covered the walls. The air smelled faintly metallic, but there was no sign of life. "Commander Jin, what's your read on these symbols?" Elise asked. Jin bent down to scan the markings. "I can't translate yet. They're unlike any language we've seen, but the technology here is advanced, much more than ours." They moved deeper into the ship, the shadows seeming to move with them. Then, suddenly, a soft hum filled the air. "Elise, the ship's systems are coming online," Jin said, surprised. "It's waking up." The lights flickered on, casting a pale glow over the walls. Screens around them lit up with strange patterns and images. Elise felt a chill. This ship was alive in some way, and it had been waiting. They found the control room at the heart of the ship. A large console dominated the space with an empty seat that looked like it had been waiting for a pilot. On the screen, a message appeared in a strange, glowing script. Jin worked quickly to decode it. "It's a warning," he said finally. "About a threat approaching the galaxy. Something powerful and dangerous." Elise's eyes narrowed. "Who sent this and why here?" Before Jin could answer, alarms blared through the ship. The crew jumped, rushing to their stations. "Enemy ships detected," Mara reported from the Endeavour. "They're moving fast. Pirates, or worse." Elise clenched her fists. The black ship was a prize, and many wanted it. "Prepare for battle," she ordered. But we're not leaving without answers. The Endeavour moved to shield the black ship. As enemy fighters swarmed toward them, Elise felt something deep inside her, a fierce pride in her crew, in humanity. They were small, alone in this vast galaxy, but they had courage. And now, they held a secret that might change everything. The fight was only beginning. The alarms echoed through the corridors of the Endeavour and the black ship. Red lights flashed, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Captain Elise Harper stood firm on the bridge of the Endeavour, her eyes sharp, her mind racing. The enemy ships had appeared suddenly, their sleek fighters swarming like angry hornets around the black ship. "Shields up! Weapons ready!" Elise commanded. Her voice was calm but full of authority. "Captain," Jin said, looking at his console. "The black ship's systems are starting to respond more. Some of the controls are lighting up. The ship itself seems to be waking." Elise narrowed her eyes. "Is it helping us or preparing to fight back?" Jin shook his head. "I don't know yet, but this technology is unlike anything I've ever seen." The Endeavour fired warning shots, trying to keep the enemy fighters at bay. The crew worked quickly, their training clear in their swift movements. Despite the tension, Elise felt a thrill. This was what space exploration was about: unknown danger, mystery, and the chance to prove humanity's strength. Inside the black ship, Elise's boarding team cautiously moved through the corridors. The ship was alive in a way they could feel. The hum grew louder, and soft blue lights began to glow along the walls, lighting their path. "Keep your eyes open," Elise said, her voice low. "We don't know what's coming." They reached a large chamber that looked like a control room. In the center stood a tall, glowing structure pulsing with light. It seemed to be the ship's core, a source of power and intelligence. Jin stepped forward, his hand reaching out to touch the surface. The glow spread along his fingers like electricity. "This is some kind of AI," he said. "It's alive." Suddenly, the room filled with a soft voice. It was strange and broken, but it spoke in English or something close to it. "Awaken, protect, danger." Elise took a step back, surprised. "Who are you? What is this place?" The voice paused, then continued. "Long ago, a war destroyed my creators. I remained guardian. Warning, threat returns." The message was incomplete but clear. The black ship was once controlled by an ancient civilization destroyed by a great enemy. Now the ship's AI had been waiting, alone in the dark, to warn anyone who found it. Elise felt a mix of awe and fear. "Can you tell us more?" "What is the threat?" The voice hesitated, then said, "The shadow. Coming soon, consume all." Elise looked at Jin. "The shadow? What is that?" Jin shook his head again. "Unknown. But it sounds like a deadly force." Suddenly the ship shook. An explosion rocked the Endeavour. "They're attacking!" Mara shouted from the bridge. Back. On the Endeavour, the enemy fighters launched a fierce assault. Lasers flashed and the ship rocked under fire. Elise gritted her teeth. They had to protect the black ship and its secrets. "Return fire. Hold the line," she ordered. The battle was brutal. The human crew, smaller and fewer in number, fought with every weapon they had, but the enemy was relentless. Inside the black ship, strange systems began to activate. Doors opened, revealing hidden compartments filled with advanced weapons and tools. The AI's power seemed to be spreading. Jin studied the controls, amazed. This ship could give us an edge, technology beyond our wildest dreams. Elise nodded, but her mind was focused on survival. "We need to understand it fast. If the shadow is real, we must be ready." The enemy fighters made a final push, surrounding the Endeavour and the black ship. Explosions lit up space, and it seemed the battle might be lost. Then, something unexpected happened. The black ship's weapons fired, powerful beams of energy cutting through the enemy ranks. The AI had taken control. Elise watched in disbelief as the black ship fought with deadly precision. Its advanced weapons tore through the attackers, forcing them to retreat. "Captain, the ship is protecting us," Jin said, amazed. "It's fighting for us." Elise smiled, a fierce pride swelling inside her. "That's humanity's luck. We don't give up. We fight back with every ounce of strength." The enemy ships withdrew, but the warning remained clear. The shadow was coming, and it was dangerous. As the battle ended, the black ship settled into silence once more. The AI's voice returned, calm and steady. "Thank you, humans. Together we stand. Against darkness." Elise looked at her crew. They had survived the first test, but the true challenge was just beginning. The black ship had awakened, and so had a new hope for humanity. The stars streaked past as the Endeavour and the black ship raced through the vast emptiness of space. Captain Elise Harper stood on the bridge of the Endeavour, her eyes sharp, watching the sensors. Enemy ships were still close behind them, persistent and dangerous. "They won't give up," Elise said, her voice steady but tense. "They want the black ship." Commander Jin worked quickly at his console. "Their fighters are fast and well armed. but we can't outrun all of them. They're cutting off our routes. Elise clenched her fists. Then we fight smarter. Use the ship's technology to our advantage. The black ship hummed beside them, its dark hull shining faintly in the starfield. Since the AI had awakened, it seemed to pulse with new energy, almost alive. Jin scanned the black ship's systems. Captain, I've found something. A hidden weapon system. It uses dark energy, something I don't fully understand yet. It could be powerful, but dangerous. Elise looked at him. How dangerous? Could backfire on us. The energy is unstable. We need to be careful. Elise nodded. We don't have many choices. If we lose this ship, the enemy will gain an unstoppable weapon. We have to protect it no matter the risk. Suddenly, the ship trembled as an enemy missile streaked past, exploding nearby. Mara, the pilot, kept them steady. They're closing in, Captain. We're almost trapped. Elise's mind raced. The enemy wanted to trap them in a nearby asteroid belt, an area full of rocks and debris where navigation was deadly. We can use the belt to our advantage, Elise said quickly. Mara, get us inside, but carefully. Use the black ship's scanners to guide us. The Endeavour dove into the dense asteroid field. Jagged rocks surrounded them, making every move risky. The enemy fighters followed, but not as well. Shields. Up, Elise ordered. Keep close to the black ship. Inside the black ship's control room, Jin worked to unlock more of the ship's secrets. As the ship's AI communicated in broken phrases, Jin pieced together more about the lost civilization that had built the ship. They were warriors, Captain, Jin said quietly. Their technology was built for war. They fought something called the Shadow, a force that destroyed them. Elise stared at the glowing core in front of Jin. And they left this ship as a weapon, or a warning. Both, maybe, Jin replied. Suddenly a warning flashed on Jin's console. Captain, incoming fighters. They're using stealth. Technology! Elise's heart quickened. Stealth fighters were nearly invisible on sensors until they attacked. They want to finish this, she said grimly. The battle inside the asteroid belt was fierce. Enemy fighters struck from the shadows, firing missiles and lasers. The Endeavour and black ship dodged and weaved through the rocky maze. Elise's voice was calm but sharp. Focus fire on the lead fighters. Use the black ship's targeting systems. The black ship responded, its weapons glowing bright. Powerful energy blasts tore through enemy fighters, one after another. It was clear the AI was learning to fight alongside the humans. During a brief pause in the fight, Jin spoke urgently. Captain, I found a way to activate the dark energy weapon, but it requires a lot of power and might damage the ship. Elise thought quickly. What are our chances if we don't use it? Low. The enemy keeps coming. Elise made her decision. Prepare the weapon, Jin, but only use it if we're cornered. The chase continued. Enemy ships tried to trap them, but the combined crew's skill and the black ship's power kept them alive. As the Endeavour and black ship moved deeper into the belt, Jin's hands flew over the controls. The dark energy weapon powered up, glowing, a deep violet. Ready when you are, Captain, Jin said. Elise nodded. Hold on. Let's see what this baby can do. Suddenly, a swarm of enemy fighters appeared from behind a massive asteroid, catching them off guard. Now, Jin, Elise shouted. The black ship unleashed a blast of dark energy that surged forward like a living shadow. It tore through the enemy, fighters leaving destruction in its wake. The remaining attackers scattered, forced to retreat. The crew cheered, but Elise remained focused. This is only the beginning. The shadow is coming. We need to be ready. Jin looked thoughtful. The weapon could be a double-edged sword. We'll need to learn how to control it. Elise agreed. We have no choice but to master it. For humanity's future. As the chase ended for now, the crew looked out at the stars ahead. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. The black, dangerous ship was no longer just a mystery. It was a key to survival, and a symbol of humanity's fierce will to fight. The Endeavour drifted quietly in the calm space beyond the asteroid belt. The battle was over for now, but the tension on the ship remained thick. Captain Elise Harper stood on the bridge, staring out at the stars. The black, dangerous ship floated. Beside them, like a sleeping giant, the weapon of dark energy still hummed softly within its core, waiting to be used again. Elise knew this weapon could be the key to survival or destruction. Commander Jin approached, his face serious. "Captain, the weapon is powerful, but it's unstable. Every time we use it, it drains the ship's energy and strains its systems. If we push it too far, we could lose the whole ship." Elise nodded slowly. "We don't have many options. Our enemies won't stop chasing us, but using the weapon might hurt us as much as them." Jin's eyes met hers. "There's also something else. The AI warned about the shadow. It said this weapon might be what stopped the shadow before. But it's risky." Elise folded her arms, thinking hard. "If the shadow really is coming, we might not get another chance." Across the ship, the crew prepared for the next encounter. Some trained in the corridors. Others studied the alien technology Jin was unlocking. Everyone knew the stakes had never been higher. Lieutenant Mara came to the bridge, her face tight. "Captain, scouts report an incoming fleet, larger than before. They're closing in fast." Elise's jaw tightened. "We have to decide. Do we use the weapon now and risk the ship, or do we try to outrun them?" Jin stepped forward. "Captain, I've been working on a way to control the weapon better. It might help us use it without so much damage." Elise looked at him hopefully. "Show me." Jin led her to the black ship's control room. The glowing core pulsed with light, casting strange shadows on the walls. "This interface is unlike anything I've seen," Jin said. "The AI has given me partial control, but the systems are complex and sensitive." He activated a panel and new controls appeared on the screen. "Here," Jin explained, "we can adjust the energy output, stabilize the weapon's power, but it requires focus and precision." Elise studied the controls. "So if we're careful, we might use the weapon safely?" Jin nodded. "It's a chance, but there's no guarantee." Elise sighed. "We don't have time to wait for perfection. We have to make a choice." She turned back to the bridge. "Prepare the crew. We're going to fight, and if we have to use the weapon, we use it." The crew worked quickly, their determination growing. They understood the risk, but also the hope the black ship represented. As the enemy fleet appeared on the horizon, the Endeavor and black ship moved forward to meet them. Elise stood at the front, her voice calm but strong. "Remember, we fight for humanity's future. We fight because we will not give up." The battle began with a roar. Enemy ships swarmed around them, firing relentlessly. The black ship's AI communicated with Jin, sending data to help control the weapon. "Now, Jin," Elise said. Jin adjusted the controls, slowly building power in the weapon's core. A deep, violet light filled the control room. The weapon was ready. Elise's heart pounded. Fire! A beam of dark energy shot from the black ship, striking the enemy fleet. Explosions spread across the stars as ships were destroyed. But the power came at a cost. The black ship trembled, its systems straining under the load. "Shields weakening," Mara called out. Jin worked furiously, trying to stabilize the systems. "We're losing power fast." Elise made a quick decision. "Cut power to non-essential systems. Focus all energy on shields and weapons." The crew scrambled, following orders with speed and skill. The enemy fleet faltered, retreating in shock and fear. The weapon had turned the tide, but the black ship was damaged. Elise felt a mix of relief and worry. "We survived. But for how long?" Jin looked at her. "The AI says the ship needs time to recover. We can't use the weapon again soon." Elise nodded. "Then we prepare. The shadow is coming. We need to be ready." As the crew worked to repair the black ship, Elise stood alone for a moment, looking out at the stars. She knew the choice they made today was only the beginning. The future was uncertain, but humanity's will was clear. They would face the darkness and fight to the cure. And the stars were cold and distant as the Endeavor and the black, dangerous ship hovered on the edge of a dark nebula. The crew moved with quiet determination. After the last battle, the black ship had been badly damaged. Repairs were underway, but time was short. The enemy fleet was regrouping, and a greater threat loomed. Captain Elise Harper stood on the bridge, eyes sharp, mind clear. The warning about the shadow haunted her thoughts. She knew this fight was not just for survival, but for the future of all humanity. "Status report," she ordered. Lieutenant Mara checked her instruments. "Shields are at 60%, weapon systems mostly restored, but the dark energy weapon is offline. The ship needs more time." Elise nodded. "We don't have it. They'll be here soon." Jin looked up from the control room console, his face tired but determined. "I'm doing everything I can. The AI is cooperating, but the damage is severe." Elise's voice was steady but firm. "We hold the line. We fight together. Humanity doesn't back down." The crew prepared for battle, running drills, checking weapons, and reinforcing shields. The atmosphere was tense but focused. Then, sensors detected the enemy fleet emerging from the nebula, more numerous and better armed than before. "They're coming," Mara said. Elise gripped the armrest of her chair. "All hands, battle stations, prepare for contact." The enemy ships advanced in tight formation, their weapons glowing menacingly. The Endeavor and Black Ship moved forward to meet them, a wall of human resolve against overwhelming odds. Lasers and missiles lit the darkness as the battle erupted. The crew fought with skill and courage. The Black Ship's AI helped target enemy ships, its systems responding faster than any human could. Despite the damage, the Black Ship's weapons fired with deadly accuracy. Human fighters swooped in, intercepting attacks and striking back fiercely. Elise watched the battle unfold, her mind sharp. She knew this was more than just a fight, it was a statement. "We show them that humanity fights not with fear, but with heart," she said quietly. The battle grew intense. Enemy ships pressed harder, pushing to break the human line. Suddenly, a large enemy cruiser charged at the Black Ship, its weapons locked on. "Shields at 20%, Mara warned. Elise made a quick decision. "Divert all power to forward. Shields. Jin, can you stabilize the weapon?" Jin's fingers flew over the controls. "I'm trying, but the core is unstable." The cruiser fired a massive blast. The Black Ship shook violently, sparks flying inside. The crew held their ground, steady and strong. Elise took a deep breath. "If we lose this ship, we lose everything." Suddenly, the Black Ship's AI spoke clearly for the first time. "Activate weapon. Now." Elise looked at Jin. "Are you ready?" He nodded. "Yes, let's end this." Elise gave the order. "Fire the dark energy weapon." A brilliant beam of violet light shot from the Black Ship, cutting through space like a blade. It struck the enemy cruiser, tearing it apart in a flash of light and debris. The enemy fleet faltered, confusion spreading among their ranks. The Endeavor and its crew pressed the advantage, striking back with renewed strength. The enemy ships began to retreat, beaten but not broken. The battle was won, but the cost was clear. The Black Ship's systems were near collapse. Elise felt the weight of responsibility. "We held the line, but this is only the start." Jin looked at her with respect. "You led us well, Captain. Humanity's spirit is stronger than ever." Elise smiled faintly. "We fight because we must. Because we believe." The crew gathered on the bridge, united by victory and hope. Outside, the stars shone quietly, witnesses to humanity's stand against the darkness. Elise knew the shadow was still out there, but for now they had shown the galaxy what humanity could do. They would face whatever came next, together. The battle was over, but the stars remained silent witnesses to the journey of the Endeavor and the black, dangerous ship. Captain Elise Harper stood on the bridge, looking out at the vast expanse of space. The quiet hum of the ship's engines filled the room, a gentle reminder that life continued even after the storm. The Black Ship, though battered and worn, floated beside them like a dark guardian. Its systems were slowly healing, the AI's soft voice echoing through the halls. "Captain, Jin approached, his face tired but hopeful. We have learned a great deal from the ship. Its technology is unlike anything we've seen. If we continue to unlock its secrets, humanity's future will be brighter. Elise nodded. We've only just begun. This ship is a symbol of what humans can achieve when they face the unknown without fear. The crew gathered in the main hall, sharing stories of their battles, their fears, and their hopes. Bonds had grown stronger, forged in the fires of conflict and unity. Elise addressed them, her voice steady. We survived because we fought together, because we refused to back down. This ship is more than a weapon. It is a legacy we must protect and pass on. Outside the ship, stars twinkled like distant promises. The AI spoke again, clearer than ever. The shadow still moves in the darkness, but together, we are strong. Elise's eyes shone with determination. Then we prepare for the battles ahead and for the future we will build. Months passed. The Endeavor became a beacon of hope among human colonies and allied species. The black ship, now understood and controlled, stood as a symbol of power and protection. Jin worked tirelessly with the AI, learning and teaching the crew to master the dark energy weapon safely. Elise traveled between worlds, speaking to leaders, inspiring courage and forging alliances. Humanity's place in the galaxy was changing. No longer the small, uncertain species, they were becoming a force of hope and strength. One evening, as Elise watched the stars from the observation deck, Mara joined her. "Captain," Mara said softly, "do you think the shadow will come?" Elise smiled, calm and sure. "It will, but we will be ready. We have the ship, the crew, and the spirit to face it." Mara nodded. "And no matter what, humanity won't give up." Elise looked out at the stars again. "No, we never do." The black, dangerous ship had awakened something inside humanity, a fierce will to survive, to protect, and to rise above. Its legacy was more than technology or power. It was the story of a species that dared to stand against the darkness and say, "We are here, and we will not be stopped." The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity was ready.